Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
Welcome in, mostly gentlemen. I was going to say ladies, but we don't have any ladies who'll be listening to
We
episode
used to have
2.
ladies. We used to have a lady.
Lady, okay.
We used
To episode 2 of the Almost 13 Colonies podcast. We are joined once again by the epic Deucer Parlay Pat and Clay. We still have yet to
I
figure
still
out
gotta
nickname
come
blank.
blank, Dave.
Yeah, we'll find it out.
I'm lame.
But anyways, as we start every episode, let's get a quick cheers.
Cheers, boys.
As is tradition.
Cheers, everyone.
So I think everybody's gonna like this episode. I think we got an interesting guest today. Steve's gonna be coming on to defend his honor with a lot of spicy takes that were discussed last week, and so we'll let him give his fair airwave time today. But anyways, Pat just mentioned to me earlier that we had some breaking news in the NFL, so I'm gonna let him take it away and kind of explain what's going on.
Yeah, so as maybe some of you have heard it today, maybe not, but the NFL and specifically the great commissioner Roger Goodell, great in heavy quotes, released NFL Plus today. So basically what NFL Plus is going to be is you're able to catch live, local, and primetime games on your phone. You can get out-of-market preseason games. You can get live game audio. You'll have everything in the NFL.com library, and it's $4.99 a month or $39.99 a year.
Okay. So does this include like local games?
So here's the thing that they have not yet really described, and I'm a little confused if they're going to have this or not. But from my understanding is you will have all of your local games.
Okay.
So for people like us who are in Nebraska, we're probably going to have the Kansas City Chiefs, maybe have the Broncos.
Green Bay Packers.
Maybe the Green Bay Packers. They're usually always playing, but I think that really is about it.
Interesting. So I was wondering, is this going to be, you get access to your local things, or is this a middle finger to Sunday Ticket?
I think this comes from the large scaled outbreak of streaming services. So as far as everyone knows, everybody has a streaming service now, right? Like Apple has their own streaming service. There's obviously Netflix, Hulu, Paramount has their own, Warner Brothers, HBO Max, right? Everybody's coming out with their own streaming service, and I think this is just the NFL's response to that. Now, if I remember correctly, Apple has a deal with the NFL this year to stream games on their platform. So I don't know why the NFL is coming out with this model. I don't know if it's going to be connected. It's just really interesting news to come out.
It is interesting. So are you going to subscribe?
I think I want to wait till after the first week to pull the trigger.
Very good idea.
Yeah, see, I have the reliable website that was shared to me by peers that gets me NFL Red Zone, and all you have to do is just click link like 5 or 6 times and let the block up windows or pop up windows pull up. But then after that, it's free, and so I'm a schmuck when it comes to stuff.
Now you see, this is what I
really well.
This is what I would love if the NFL came out with NFL Red Zone for like $7-10 a month, sold
for every game,
for like every week, every Red Zone stream. Like that's what you get. That's what I want.
Right.
For the entire, so say the NFL games start Thursday, you pay the $10, but it covers Thursday through that Monday game.
Yes.
See, yeah, that'd be worth it.
Or even just the Sunday games, right? If we even just got the Sunday games,
correct?
8 hours.
Thursday and Monday usually are primetime games, so
right.
usually already on like a
right, which should be covered under the NFL Plus subscription. So if there's like another tier that we could have where it had like Red Zone, I think that would be perfect.
Now, NFL Plus would be nice if it was able to have multiple different, so whatever team has offense, or it's just playing every game. So, say you want 4 different screens playing on the app.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yes.
I feel like then it'd be worth it if that was the capability. If that app has the capability to even like withstand that.
Right.
I feel like that'd be a lot of bandwidth going through the stream.
Because, dude, NFL Sunday Ticket is freaking expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stupid expensive.
Yeah, it's almost not worth it just for how much they charge.
I mean, Red Zone's nice, but you only usually get you can only it only shows like the team when like they're in the actual red zone. Hence why it's called Red Zone.
Right.
And they don't usually put like multiple different games on. So say the Broncos are marching in there at like the 15-yard line, and you're really, really banking on Jerry Jeudy to finally catch a touchdown, but he never does.
But like they also go back and show like the major highlights too.
They do, but it's fun watching it live because then if you're like me, I'm literally watching my phone, watching the game the entire time.
Yeah.
Because I'm an anxious mess every Sunday when it comes to fantasy football season.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see how it pans out for him. I think it's a good idea in theory, but we'll see what the advertising dollars and everything else turns out.
This might be the make or break year, obviously, because it's the monumental like beginning year. But I don't know. There's just so many different subscriptions out there that they really have to find a way to make it stand out among what else is out there for offerings.
Yeah. So in other NFL news, I just kind of keep track of what I see. Did you guys see Kyler Murray just got a bag of cash?
Big bag.
Boys getting paid.
Yeah.
Now, not quite the guaranteed money that Deshaun Lady Killer Watson got, but hey.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that says something about the Cardinals. They want to stick with him long term. So
I think he has good upside. I think they still need to build the offensive line around him, but he's too athletic, and he had a really good start last year. They kind of fizzled out though towards the end of the year.
They did. They start off what was it, like 7-0 or something.
Oh yeah, they had an amazing start. He was killing it.
Yeah. So we should see how that pans out. But so I'm thinking it's time we bring on our much anticipated guest for this evening.
Oh yes.
And so let's all welcome in the man, the myth, the legend,
Steve. Oh, but he doesn't have his video on. Hey,
look at that background.
No.
How's it going?
Hey, and we wonder why he's so bad at fantasy. He's a homer. Oh man. So Steve,
how's it going, fellas?
What's new, man?
Oh, the usual.
So you were making a trip to Fremont for an orbital sander.
Oh, yeah, to do our last floor. So there's one in Columbus and two in Norfolk, and they're all broken. And they can't find
used
parts.
those in the other rooms that you redid.
Yeah, and Amber just busted those. So this is our last one. Yeah, exactly.
So you have a green screen behind you? Is it actually a green screen?
No, it's all through my graphics card. It's like
wow, that's actually pretty solid.
Yeah, wow. I know. Nope, this is all basement back here. You just can't see it. I know. It's pretty crazy.
So, Steve, have you ever seen the show Home Improvement?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, thank you, Clay. That was amazing.
I suck at it.
So, would you say you or Amber is Tim the Toolman Taylor, and who is Al?
I'm going to be Al. I don't know enough about the show, though. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Do I want to be Al?
Yeah, he's the safe one.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Tim the Toolman Taylor is the one that always has the accidents.
Yeah, that's him. But Amber. Come on, that's obvious.
Can we also appreciate the subtle flex with the Apple AirPod Pros?
With the detachable mic. Just hanging there.
Oh yeah. We got all the shit.
What a flex.
I know.
But, Steve, I know it's kind of unfair, but we actually kind of prepare some questions for you.
Oh god.
That I intentionally don't prep you on. Right.
Okay.
Because I want to.
We did the same thing to Creighton.
Is it sports trivia? Because that's not gonna go.
No, it's not sports trivia. But see, this first question is super easy. It's open ended. Okay. All I want to do is give you the platform for a rebuttal to all that was said last week.
I have none. I'm actually terrible at fantasy football. Yeah. That's it. That's all I'm going to give you guys.
I think we need to unpack that.
I mean, everyone knows I am for sure like the most casual sports fan out of everybody, and it shows by my performance.
Do you think Kansas is a fair comparison?
Yeah,
I think you got to be specific though, because Kansas basketball just won a championship.
But I have been my head coach for 9 years now, and they can't say the same.
And you haven't even got fired.
I haven't even got
That's
fired.
true.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
I'm not Kansas. Who am I? I don't know. But it's not
Kansas. What's his bucket from Iowa?
Yeah, but I don't want to be them though.
Oh yeah, that's true. Good point.
No,
Clay, that's pretty insulting, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like I'm Rutgers. Like I'm always looking up. People are like, he'll get it this year, and then he never does.
Kind of sounds a little bit like Nebraska lately, but
yeah,
that's a good. I'll take that.
We won't go there. So, okay, my next question for you: what would define a successful season for the guys in Steve's locker
room? Not being hurt.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Winning on the weeks when I score a lot of points. So that's been my downfall, is the weeks I score a lot of points, the other guy scores even more, a lot of points. And so I got to not have that happen, and I should be okay. But
I feel the injury bug one though. I feel like that's a good answer for you, because you've been riddled with injuries.
It's been rough. And there was the one season where I was the second highest point total out of anybody, and I didn't make the playoffs. That was like 2 years ago?
Yeah, I do remember that.
That was rough. It's
kind of like how it was for Beery last year.
Yeah, I had a Beery year. All 9 years. That's what's happened.
All 9 years.
All 9 years. Yeah.
Dude, can you believe you only made the playoffs once?
Yes, because I was here for it.
But how?
I'm subpar. You guys are all above par. So there's not even one who's just average. It's just, you guys are all up here, I'm down here. That's it. Except Pat. Level. Remember, Pat is worse statistically.
True. So Creighton said that one of your big problems is you go into drafts, and he said you can never figure out what the heck you're doing. So I just want you to kind of talk to us about what is your draft strategy.
I have like 2 websites open that I pick at random, and I just follow their list.
So they're not consistent? Not the same?
I synthesize the 2 results into my own interpretation of the results, and it doesn't work, but I've stuck with it.
Can you name these sites that you've used that have failed you?
It's just any on the internet. ESPN, typically. Don't use them. They're bad.
Dang it, Matthew Berry.
Yeah. Don't use them. I don't know. Like Fox Sports. No, they're bad.
Don't use them. Okay.
Huffington Post Sports. Don't use Huffington Post Sports. It's a bunch of women. Don't use
them.
It's obviously not going to work, right?
Like disgruntled white women columns.
Yeah, don't. Sally doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Don't use her. Yeah, she sucks.
I just got this picture of Sally over at the HuffPost being the chief editor of the fantasy football column.
Yeah. No, she's bad. Patty, her new replacement, even worse. Caesar last year, no results. Terrible.
Well, she's got blue hair.
Yeah. So don't do Huffington Post Sports. It's no good.
Okay, and you also, it's my understanding that you still have the Scrophy, the legendary Scrophy in your basement.
It's in my storage room, which is the most popular room in my house.
Why is it
displayed? Well, I have not lost now for like 2 or 3 years. So, but I also have not been to Wisconsin, so couldn't give it to Mitch.
Mitch? I probably I could have helped you out with that this weekend.
I could have brought it to Vegas. Just
has the postal service.
It's weird. Nobody who has lost has actively tried to get the trophy from me.
That's kind of messed up.
I don't know.
I display it loud and proud.
I think you need to, I was just going to tell you the postal service has been around since, I don't know, 1800s?
Pony Express.
We could use them, Steve.
I think that was a Ben Franklin, I think, 17.
Give it to him at my wedding in October.
It's an idea. We're going to have to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to do that.
That way he has to hold on to it at the wedding in front of everyone. If people ask, why do you have a dangling ball sack? You're like, because I suck at fantasy.
That'll work.
Hey, what do you guys think about the loser punishment for the Scrophy guy? They have to sign it and then kiss the trophy and have a picture of it. I think we need to get an archive going to this.
I think that'd be good. I like it.
And then you can compare 25-year-old Steve, signing and kissing this trophy with 45-year-old Steve signing and kissing this
Hey, who's saying that
because
Steve's ever
I think
losing
it'll
again?
be a
That's my
good piece
point.
of history because it'll just be a history of how my signature has evolved over the years, which I think could be a really useful historical artifact someday.
If you ever need to verify Steve's signature, just check his trophy.
Yeah, on my will or something, be like, oh, he's lost like 27 times. Just it's like a binding document at that point.
So would you leave it? Would you leave it in your will to your kids?
I'll have to because it's going to be mine forever. Somebody's got it. I mean, nobody's going to buy that at a garage sale.
You'd be surprised.
That's made in America, Steve. I made that in my garage.
That is true. Yep. You should make an Etsy. You'd make a lot of money on Etsy.
Yes. You make Scrophy fantasy trophies.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot of leagues that would take that, I bet.
Probably.
Oh,
it's a good idea. Make a killing.
All right, Shopify.
Yep.
You're on the clock, waiting for sponsorships for the podcast right now.
Oh, yeah.
Etsy, Shopify, hit them up.
Big money.
All right. Well, I was really a little bit disappointed. I thought Steve would have more answers and come out firing, but it kind of sounds like Creighton's maybe beating him in submission a little bit.
Much like his draft strategy.
I was crushed.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's very true.
Which I think it's really funny that Steve's our guest this week because, the next 2 weeks we're going to go position by position, kind of give our breakdown, our interpretations of rankings. And,
it's good you had me this week. We couldn't do that.
Yeah. But, we really know that Steve is going to go with two loves, Dak and Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
And really nothing else matters. But we're going to actually start the next segment of our show. We're going to do QB loves, QB hates. All right. How it's going to work is we're going to kind of go around. We'll probably start with Steve, and then we'll kind of jump in and we'll rotate around. Some of us might have the same ones, and that's okay. We'll just discuss and verify that those are solid. So,
all right,
Steve, who's your first love, man?
First love,
and this can be performance wise. It can be based on average draft position, whatever.
Mm-hmm. So first love, definitely going to go with Kyler Murray. Dude got paid, so I think he's going to ball out.
We did just talk about that.
Yeah. I think he's going to do good. He'll slide off because he'll get complacent with his money. But this year, dude's.
I'm curious to see how his first 6 games, because Hopkins is out for like the first.
I was just going to say no D-Hop.
Yeah, no D-Hop for like the first 6 games, but I think he'll be okay.
He's still got talent around it. Well, and no Christian Kirk because he got paid, more than
Christian Kirk. Yeah, Christian Kirk to. Where did Christian Kirk go?
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah,
they had a great regular season last year, so I think they'll be kind of ticked that they fell off the wagon.
Yeah.
So they'll come up playing.
It's a tough division he plays in, though. He has to play against Niners defense and the Rams defense 4 times a year.
It's true. They did fine last year.
Yeah. Anybody else have Kyler Murray?
I did. He's in my top 5.
He's in my top 5.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Who else do you have, Steve?
If we're just doing tops, I mean, you got to do Josh Allen for sure.
5 that you love.
I mean, yeah, Josh Allen, he's going to be great. No question. I don't know. He's been good the last few years. He's only been better.
Is he a solid lock for the number 1 quarterback in fantasy, like hands down?
Ooh, I don't know about that.
It's a toss-up between him and Mahomes, in my opinion.
Really?
I would say yes. I think with Mahomes losing Tyreek, you got to figure it's Josh Allen.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
No competition?
Nope.
Okay. So write that down. Steve's taking Josh Allen for $60 this year.
Mm-hmm.
I know he wasn't like I don't know. I know he wasn't like an amazing performer last year, but I think Jalen Hurts goes absolutely off for the Eagles this year.
Oh, you're going Hurts?
Yeah, they don't have a running identity at all in their offense.
I agree. I think Clay's right.
Yeah.
They have great running backs. They don't run. I know because I traded for Miles Sanders last year and thought he was my one chance. If he started running, I would have done fine. He did not.
They also have what's his bucket for wide receiver they got from Tennessee Titans?
AJ Brown.
Oh, AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. Yep. Yeah. So they got their wide receiver. And they have some good passing down running backs, but they don't really have a running identity. So Jalen Hurts.
He's got the running upside too, which always helps.
And more than likely, he always has an opportunity for a rushing touchdown every game.
Here's my problem:
they aren't running with that running.
He is their running game. He was their number one rusher, I think.
So when you're looking at fantasy production, Jalen Hurts is going to be up there.
Okay, so here's what I really don't like about our league and a lot of fantasy football leagues. Actually, I don't like that the running value inflates them as a fantasy player, but in real life, they're not that good of a quarterback. I'm not saying he's a terrible player, but here's the deal: he may end up being a top 8 fantasy football quarterback.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I'm choosing him. I think that's why.
But if you just were like, who is the top 8 quarterbacks in the NFL? No. Like he's not on your list.
Yeah,
for sure.
And so that really kind of bothers me sometimes. I don't know how you fix that from a point standpoint, or if anybody would want to, but sometimes that does bug me.
Couldn't you just disable rushing yards for quarterbacks,
or just like maybe assimilate?
That would be an absolute uproar if we disabled rushing points for a quarterback.
Well, not totally.
I don't disagree. I think it would be a terrible idea to disable it, but if you want to eliminate that element, I feel like that's the only way you can do it.
You could make it the same or equate their rushing value to their passing value.
What you could also do probably is if they get a first down is when they get a point.
Yeah.
Or just increase the point value of just passing. Because if they're not, if they're not running, or if they're passing, then they're not running.
So if you made rushing yards the same as passing yards, then like a Lamar Jackson would end up with 300 yards a game, 200 of that rushing, obviously.
Lamar also backs it up. I mean, he was MVP, 2 years ago? I mean, he backs it up on, just being a good quarterback. Last year, I think he took a little bit of a stumble, but.
If you have a guy that's like favoring running, let's say he runs for 5 yards or passes for 10, like in a game, you'd rather have the 10 yards, but in fantasy, if I remember the scoring right, I think you'd rather have the 5, right?
Exactly. And that kind of
it doesn't really trade off to the, like what it's doing on the field,
In no world would a rational person take, Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson over Tom Brady, but in fantasy they do. That's my point. That's my only point. So I wish
one name. I feel like one name y'all are sleeping on here is Justin Herbert.
Oh, he's on my list, boy.
Oh yeah, he's on my list. Yeah, he's on my list.
It's like the second best QB in the league for fantasy last year.
Justin Herbert is a monster, and he's got monster talent around him.
Just saying, look out for Justin Herbert and Mike Williams this year. It's going to be electric.
Well, I mean, he's got Williams
he's on my list for sure
as a number 2. I mean, truly a number 3 behind Allen and Eckler.
Yeah.
So I think Herbert's going to blow up again.
Yeah.
No one's saying right off of his Super Bowl appearance, good old Joey Burrow.
I was hoping somebody would take him.
Yeah, he's on my list too.
He's got weapons. Lots of them.
Yeah, their receivers, I think the Bengals almost have the best receiving group in NFL.
I think Bengals have a good receiving core. Vikings have a really good receiving core. It's just Vikings, their running back is always hurt.
And Kirk Cousins is elite. Everyone knows Kirk Cousins. Oh.
Hey, Kirk Cousins is a top 10 fantasy quarterback for the last 4 or 5 years.
So since you guys brought up Kirk Cousins, he's on my love list.
He produces.
I think Kirk Cousins for the draft capital you can get him for is a steal.
Oh, his draft value is through the roof. You can get him for probably $5 or less.
Yeah, you can get him super cheap. And this guy, I mean, they got a new coach, new offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna, instead of just running the ball 85 times a game, they're probably gonna put the ball in the air a little more and utilize their weapons. I mean, even Dalvin Cook is better when you mix him in the passing game.
Yeah.
So I think Kirk Cousins is on. I think he finishes the year as top 8 quarterback.
I feel like that's being very generous to Kirk Cousins. if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't think he can produce a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but that's just my take.
Is he on your hate list, Pat?
He is absolutely on my hate list. Absolutely.
We're jumping into hate
Overrated,
list.
overvalued. No,
I
would never want to
He's
draft.
the top 10 QB.
Statistics don't mean squat though. I mean, in fantasy, sure, right? Like it's going to have a high value, but the guy is hit or miss. How many interceptions did he have last year?
Not many.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I don't think he had many. I don't think he had many. He hasn't turned the ball over a whole lot.
I don't know. I watch Kirk Cousins and I get scared when he throws the ball.
Dude, you're just a hater.
Every single time. I think he's one of the most overrated quarterbacks in fantasy. But I mean, he obviously he produces statistics wise. I don't know. I just can't.
Here you go. He threw for 4,200 yards last year. He threw 33 touchdown passes to only 7 interceptions.
Yeah, you don't turn the ball over.
7's still high.
7's low, man. Today's NFL.
Yeah, with how pass heavy it can be.
Yeah.
And you have not only Justin Jefferson, but you also have all of the other wide receivers that are on their team. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. They have a great receiving core on that team. Absolutely incredible. And I think their wide receiver core is the reason why Kirk Cousins is so good statistically. But I mean, I'm going to have to watch him closer this year, I think, but I don't know. I feel like if you go for him in the draft, it's going to be a bust. I don't feel like he's a draftable quarterback.
So he was the 9th highest in passing touchdowns by 6 passing touchdowns.
Okay, sure. 9th highest. Where?
And interceptions. You want to? I'll list the guys that had more interceptions than him.
Go for it. I'm really curious.
I figured you would more. Brady with 12, Stafford with 17, Herbert with 15, Mahomes with 13, Dak with 10, and he missed some time. Josh Allen threw 15, Joe Burrow threw 14. So the only people who had fewer interceptions than Kirk Cousins last year, or the same, were Aaron Rodgers, because he had 4. That was ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's Aaron Rodgers.
That's
Carson Wentz
like 4
with 7. Russell Wilson with 6. And then if you really want to count Teddy Bridgewater with 7.
So then here's another question, if you can look it up. Who had, out of the list that had more interceptions, how many of them had higher touchdowns, like passing touchdowns?
Burrow had 1 more. Allen had 3 more. Dak had 4 more. Pat had 4 more. Justin Herbert had 5 more. Stafford.
Right. So he threw less interceptions, but he also threw less touchdown passes. And that's the stat that I think really matters the most.
By 3? Like, he didn't throw that
3
much
more.
less.
3 more can make a difference.
Okay,
especially if you're trying to fight for a playoff spot.
You want something crazy here? So here, I just sorted by quarterback rating here. And if we're going by starting quarterbacks who started every game or most of the games, the only guys with a better passer rating last year, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott. That's it.
That's an insane stat to me.
So
I'm just saying Cousins produces.
I think
he's not like an upper tier quarterback, but he's solid.
Yeah, and I think if you build a fantasy team around him, I think that it could succeed.
Oh yeah, if you're spending all your money up front on like running backs and my receivers, Kirk Cousins is a great pickup.
For sure. I think we might have found one of our most controversial players.
I think we have.
Yeah, but see, we're also talking to 2 Packers fans here, Clay.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he's a fine pick.
Yeah,
I do. Whoa. Well, thanks, Steve. Okay, so he was one of my other ones. Anybody else have a top 5 that hasn't been mentioned yet? I got 3 still.
Well, I don't think we've officially said Mahomes, but of course he's on there.
Mahomes on my list, and here's why.
Stafford again.
So here's why I think Mahomes is, because a lot of people are kind of poo-pooing him because he lost Tyreek, whatever. But you look back to his first year when he ran things more systematically in the game. There's the game plan. He played within the game plan. When Kareem Hunt was still there and they had a good run-pass balance. It seemed like he played more within the system during that time. And that was his best year, statistically. He put up 50 touchdowns that year. And so I think not having Tyreek out there to play, street ball with, I think that's going to allow him to go through progressions, make some reads, make some, smart checkdowns. I think there'll be more balance and it'll open up some good passing options for him.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is going to be Patrick Mahomes regardless.
Yeah.
He had a lot of interceptions last year on the wide receiver. Receiver would just bobble it and then which was infuriating if you had Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback.
Oh, Tyreek Hill was the worst at drops last year, man.
Yeah.
So he was another one of mine.
I had Stafford.
You had Stafford?
I had Stafford. And one more year in the system, fresh off a Super Bowl. You have one of the best wide receivers in the game on your team. Just seems like a recipe to be a top performing fantasy quarterback.
And not being on the Lions.
I think
correct. And having a good defense.
I think Stafford is one of the harder players to predict for me. I don't have him on my hate list or anything, but he's
a good value quarterback in my opinion as well. He doesn't go for much.
Yeah. I think that he's, again, like you said, another year in a system. I think he's gonna be solid. But I wonder if, like, with Akers being back, if they're going to be a little run happy too.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Last one on my list, I had Russell Wilson.
Hey, me too.
I think
I'm indifferent on that.
I have him at number 5. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him because he's now with the Broncos. But at the same time, this is Russell Wilson. Like, he's a great quarterback. He's a great fantasy quarterback. And I really think he's going to make the most out of the weapons that they have in Denver. So, but at the same time, it's also a very risky pick because it is the Broncos.
He had weapons.
He has a solid defense.
He has a solid defense.
But he had weapons in Seattle.
But he has healthy running backs now.
Right, but see, that's a great point because they have healthy running backs now. So they could do still more of a rushing game than they would a passing game. But again, it's Russell Wilson. So I feel like the times that he is going to be able to connect, he's going to be able to connect very well with his wide receivers.
Yeah. Also, doesn't the football travel further in that mile-high stadium?
I feel like with a higher elevation,
Yeah. So he already has a cannon for an arm. So add that into all of your home games. You have some speeders on the corners for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I do like
I think their slot has been so underused because they don't have a quarterback that can hit the slot. I think he's an accurate passer. I think he's gonna be good.
He's gonna be really good for Denver, and I think he's gonna be one of those picks. I think that you take late in the round because you've done so much with your wide receivers and your running backs. I think he's gonna be a solid option.
Well, especially because look at the division they're in. Chiefs are going to put up points.
Yep.
So Broncos are going to have to answer that. Chargers are going to put up points. Broncos are going to have to answer it. Raiders, we'll see. but
they got Derek Carr and they got what's this Devontae Adams.
Yep.
So watch out for the Raiders.
I think that's going to be like the Big 12 of the NFL in that division. So, anybody else have any loves?
I have a dark horse love.
Ooh, I got one too. So you go first.
Matty Ice.
Ooh, Matty Ice.
New environment with the best running back in the game. He'll be able to stay on the field a little bit more compared to where he was with the Falcons. He has a new up and coming wide receiver that could potentially be a top 10 wide receiver this year.
It's true. Drake London.
Yeah.
Drake London's solid. Or no, for the Colts.
For the Colts.
Pittman, sorry.
Michael Pittman.
Yeah, Pittman was a stud last year down the stretch.
Yeah, so he has a good chance to be a solid quarterback this year. It just depends if the Colts offensive line, which notoriously they're a good offensive line, obviously, because Taylor is an amazing running back.
Right.
It just depends if they give him enough time because he's good. He's a good passer.
Yeah.
I think that's what his downfall was in Atlanta, is because he just didn't have an offensive line. He couldn't stay on the field.
So my dark horse love, and it pains me to say this because Tyreek Hill's an idiot, is Tua Tagovailoa. I think that Tua actually we got the head shaking.
He's my don't.
He does have a noodle arm. I'll give you that. But the way the Dolphins have put the pieces around him, they acquired Tyreek Hill. They got Jalen Waddle. They have Raheem Mostert. They get guys who do things with the ball in space. So even though Tua is never going to throw the ball past 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, his guys have the ability to make people miss and get some extra yards.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Not be one I would bet on. I don't know.
That sounds like a great backup option. That doesn't sound like a starter. Doesn't sound like my QB1.
Right.
Yeah,
But as a backup, I would love to target Tua this year. Just in case, I think he's got all the tools around him where he could pop. You just don't know. So, anyways, let's move on to hates. So we already talked about a couple. Dak is on my hate list, actually.
Absolutely.
He's got just all new wide receivers.
All new wide receivers.
And
got new.
If I remember right, they've got a lot of offensive line issues too.
An offensive system that you have no idea whether their running back is going to be heavily involved or not.
Yeah, Zeke has been super all over the place.
Yeah. I think Lamb has a good year. I think him and Lamb play. I think they have a solid year, but I just don't have a good feeling about Dak this year.
So you think he'd be a guy you would take a chance on for depth?
No.
I think someone still overpays for him.
Mm-hmm.
What's really fun about this podcast is we might be like actively, upvaluing or devaluing players as we talk about them based on what our brethren think about what we're saying.
But I think we're actually giving our honest opinion on these things. Yeah. I mean, are people going to all this stuff down and be like, oh, he said that? Like, going to make sure, keep an eye on him.
So my other hate is, and nobody said him as a love actually, which is funny, but Lamar Jackson. I don't even think he deserved the MVP that year. I think that he is a very, very one-dimensional quarterback. And especially now that they lost Marquise Brown, all he's got is Andrews.
Yeah, he's probably on a don't list.
He's fine if he can stay healthy, but he's not going to.
He's good fantasy value because running.
Yeah, and that's so stupid.
I mean, we're a 12-team league, so like I think if he's healthy, he starts on someone's team. But is he? He's probably not going to stay healthy.
Okay, I'm going to be the person that says my don't love quarterback this year, and I'm going to get killed for it because two guys are in this group are Packer fans, but I am not a Rodgers fan this year at all. They have nobody. When Lazard is your number one wide receiver, I'm concerned. I mean, Rodgers will be Rodgers, but I mean, Devontae Adams, him being gone, really hurts.
Man, crickets.
I mean,
they still win the division, I bet.
Top 12, I think he's still probably a top 12 quarterback.
I don't think he goes for the value. It doesn't really
matter who he's thrown to, Yeah. But I mean, I agree he's not incredible this year because
he's going to still do the same stuff he does. It's just he's going to be limited with the weapons. Devontae Adams being gone hurts a lot.
I mean, their two running backs are outstanding too.
Correct.
So they're going to have a very balanced. They're going to have a very balanced offense this season because
So I mean, he'll still put up good stats, but fantasy wise, I don't think he'll be nearly as dominant as he was.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know about that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was still top 10.
I would say he's a top 10 quarterback for sure. I don't think he will go. I don't think he's a top 5.
I was going to say
he might
be.
But that's
7
a big
drop off though, because he's been top 3. He's been top 3, but dropping off all the way into like the bottom half of the top 10, that's a pretty big drop off.
Yeah,
It's a big drop. Yeah, I can see that happening too.
That being said, I think they still win the NFC North.
I said that. Yeah, I was like,
Well,
they're still going to win their division.
I mean, that's like the lowest bar possible.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, everyone else is terrible.
Yeah, and who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe some of their wide
I mean-
receivers they drafted this summer really, fall out for him. Like he's been saying, Touré's been having some pretty good practices. So he says they all bring something unique to the table. So we'll see.
It'll be
And who knows? Maybe Lazard being the number one option is what he needed to break out.
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of his issue is that he's so smart and good at being a quarterback that like the younger receivers just can't catch on to like his system because
Steve, are you calling
he
the receivers
expects
dumb?
them. Well, I'm just thinking like, the last couple of years there's been a bunch of miscommunications with like, MVS and those guys. And it's like, if they're not smart enough to understand how he plays, they're just not going to be able to catch up with him. He really kind of needs like a more veteran core of receivers, which he's got like Randall Cobb, I think came back this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And Lazard, I guess. He's been around for a while.
So my other 3 hates, I got Kyler Murray. I think that and I know it's tough to call him injury prone at this point, but I think the way he plays, I can see some risk there. And then not having Hopkins for a while. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have weapons, but I just don't think that. And I mean, he was kind of MVP through the first half of the season, but I just think that he'll end up probably outside the top 5. And so for where he's being drafted right now, I just wouldn't spend that much money on him. So, other 2, go ahead.
I have on my list. I feel like it's unfair that he's on my list, but he has to be on my list. Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
Yeah, Jared Goff, I think, is still a top quarterback in this league and can still produce really good fantasy numbers, but he's on the Lions.
Hey, so have you guys seen Yellowstone?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with fantasy?
Just here's what happened to Jared Goff. Sean McVay said, "Let's take Jared to the train station."
Gotcha.
And he's never to be heard from again because he's just gonna die in despair. And
I do think the
Silver and
Lions
blue.
have a decent amount of more wins than they did last year. I think they're a team on the come up.
I think that's a bad comparison, Kamish, but I see where you're going with it.
They said, "Jared Goff, you got me to a Super Bowl. We didn't win, so you're out of here." And I don't think we ever see a fantasy relevant season from Jared Goff again.
I think they have some pretty solid running backs and wide receivers there, though. So he has some pieces around him to where he can be okay.
Yeah. I think
Miss
give him,
out with Jared Goff.
I think
And
we
on
give
top
him
of
a
that, if
little
the Lions
time.
are, and if the
We give him
Lions
a
are
little
getting beat,
time, and if he can, it really depends on how the Lions play this year. If they play like last year, obviously he's a big bust and he belongs on this list. But if they get their act together, I think they can. I think he could easily sneaky be top 15.
They could maybe at least beat the Bears twice a year.
I mean,
speaking
that's
of the
not hard to
Bears,
do with
Justin
their orange
Fields
helmets.
on a dope for me.
Oh man,
Stay away from Justin Fields or anything Bears related.
Justin Fields is on the don't list. We're
Oh
crossing
my
him off.
gosh, yeah.
Yes.
Taking him off. That and Ryan Tannehill.
Hey, you know how
Yep.
many?
Oh God, yeah. Don't
He's
expect
awesome
him to
on
have
that.
that one good season ever again.
Ever again.
You know,
Yeah.
Like he's
Now with AJ Brown being gone, no.
Yeah.
no way.
Then my other ones that I had was I put both of them, but the 49ers QBs.
Well, I don't think
who's going to play.
I don't think Jimmy G will be a 49er much longer.
But at this given moment,
Yeah,
that don't for me.
and I agree with you with Trey Lance. I don't know. He's getting a lot of hype on the airwaves and other podcast shows and everything.
If Jimmy G is still on the team, though, that's why I have the 49ers QBs on there. I don't think Jimmy G is the guy. I think Trey Lance can be good, but he just doesn't have enough playing time.
If Jimmy G gets traded to, Seattle or like Pittsburgh or something like that, Pittsburgh won't. They have Pickett, but probably Seattle will be my place.
No respect for Brock Purdy, 2022 Mr. Irrelevant. Don't think that guy has got any chance.
No, I don't.
No. Oh, yeah.
But I'm impressed with that stat.
Sleeper. Tell you what.
So if Jimmy G's out of the picture, does that change your view on Trey Lance?
Yeah, it does change it a little bit. Because
if Trey Lance is a lock for start, then yeah, I mean, he very well could be a top 12 quarterback.
He could be like playing time issues. Jalen Hurts when he first started out. Put up some pretty solid fantasy numbers because I think Lance is pretty mobile as well.
I just worry about taking him on the Niners because Kyle Shanahan is so
very run heavy.
They're so run heavy. And here's the deal.
But he has some damn good throwing options.
Yeah, they do. But he's going to come out and he's going to, run the ball week 1 25 times with like Trey Sermon, who was in his doghouse last year. I mean, that's just how he rolls. Yeah. It's unpredictable, and it's tough to know exactly what the Niners are doing. So, anybody else got any quarterbacks that I want to dump on before we move on here?
Mitch Trubisky with the Steelers.
Oh,
no, not my boy Mitch.
Not Mitch.
No.
Do you think he'll start even?
I think he'll start. I don't think he's gonna. Yeah, they have Kenny Pickett as well. I really don't think Mitch Trubisky is gonna shine in Pittsburgh. I think he's gonna be a big old bust.
No love for Davis Mills anywhere. No one.
No. You like
Texans
Davis Mills?
QB? No, of course not.
I think he's a good player. No, he needs a shot. The problem is the
Texans. The Texans are a garbage team that now has a worse quarterback. Come on.
I do say that if there is a player, if he does play ever again, Sean Watson's an I love list. I think he's a good quarterback.
If
he ever plays again.
The issue is that
he's good.
He went through a lot, and QB is very mental. So it kind of depends if he's able to bounce back from that or not.
Those Browns got some players though.
But I mean, there was one. There was not too many years ago that he was one of the top.
Oh yeah, he was killing
quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, the dude had that one season, it was just nuts. Yeah. But I mean, so did Cam Newton, back in the day, and then he fell apart. So
yeah. So I think that wraps up our QB love hate. Let us know in the league chat if you guys like the way we did this. If not, open to suggestions. We're always willing to switch things up if we need to. So with that, let's maybe move on to
Gilbert's making an appearance. He's gonna not get murdered.
Gilbert.
I'm excited for Rushmore.
So our Rushmore draft this week is going to be a cereal draft. As in, we each pick a cereal that we love and we cherish.
Oh man!
Any time of the day, whether it's morning or
Are they the resealable bag cereals? Is that okay?
It's strictly cereal bags that are resealable. That's it. I hear those are easier to open and close.
Yeah, I've improved a lot. Actually,
have you?
Yeah, it's been one of my main.
We need proof. We need a before and after pick.
Yeah. Okay. I'll work on that.
Okay. maybe Deuce or Pat can hook us up with the before and after next episode of Steve's cereal predictions.
I'll do a redemption just for you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the deal, though. You know how this works, Steve? Since you're the guest. And I'm gonna keep track of these draft picks here. We're gonna go one by one, and we're gonna pick cereals. And so once that cereal's gone, they got on their team, and then our teams of cereals go head to head, and we have the guys in the league vote on them. Last week nobody voted, so I'll try and put a tiny poll up or something like that in the league chat. So sound like a plan? Okay, so without further ado, Steve, you're on the clock. We'll do the same way we did last week. So in order to my screen, it's Steve, Clay, Pat, me. and then we'll just snake it that way.
The number one is Fruity Pebbles, for sure, hands down. No irony. That's legit.
Yeah.
Just has to be. They're so good.
Oof.
I'm gonna take mine. I'm not a big cereal guy to begin with, but I do remember always enjoying a bowl of these growing up. I'm gonna go with Reese's Puffs.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
Yeah, I do like me some Reese's Puffs.
For mine, it's always been my go-to cereal. I went through a huge phase after college of eating this every single morning, and sometimes for dinner too, because it's just so good. I'm gonna go with Cocoa Pebbles.
Ooh, yeah, because then the milk's really good afterwards too. Yeah.
Man, we got Fruity Pebbles versus Cocoa Pebbles, both in the first round. Yeah. The Pebbles are doing it big.
Pebbles are killing it.
Pebbles are killing it. Well, I'm going to be kind of a plain Jane here in the round one, but I want to take it before anybody else does. What?
You're probably going to say like Wheaties or Reese's.
No, they're all marketing. That cereal sucks.
Okay.
I'm going to go Honey Nut Cheerios.
Okay.
That's gosh, tasty, dang it.
You can put any kind of fruity one.
Those are tasty,
great breakfast.
How American of you. Oh my goodness.
Those are
healthy for your heart.
Good cholesterol cereal.
Dude, that's such a marketing gimmick. Oh man. Shoot, I got back to back, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Oh.
All
right. Here's what we're gonna do. So I think this can kind of classify, under a brag category ish. But I'm a huge. Do any of you guys do your grocery shopping at Menards?
Occasionally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The mini spooners.
Oh yeah.
The frosted ones, the blueberry ones. The blueberry is my absolute favorite. It's like blueberry muffin mini spooners, like the shredded wheat cereal. So I'm gonna go blueberry mini spooners.
That is the weirdest pick I think I've been expecting.
I've never heard
this
of
whole.
it.
I've never
heard of it.
Go get your guy.
No idea. I guess. You drafted that way too high. You easily could have made that your fifth pick.
Yeah,
I know, but
that's an honorable mention at best.
Yes. Like my actual favorite cereal, I'm gonna pick fifth because no one is gonna say it. So it's very safe.
Very safe.
Yeah.
Hey, hang on. I'm gonna screen share here for just a second so we can get some love.
I don't know if there's going to be any love for the cereal, commish, but I take your word for it.
You can buy like 4 gallons of cheese puffs at Menards. So, I mean, there's that.
Y'all have never seen blueberry mini spooners?
It's not.
Is it just knockoff mini wheats?
Yeah, but they're way better. You can even get this kind of a bag, Steve.
Oh yeah, well we don't like those. No, we don't like those.
That is such a weird pick.
Hey, I'm a weird guy. What can I say?
All right. So number 2 on the board, it's a little bit of an old man cereal. I'm not gonna lie, but
Raisin Bran.
No, not Raisin Bran. Not that old. Not that old, but good guess.
I do like me a good bowl.
That's an honorable mention actually for me.
It is for me too. Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to go with Honey Bunches of Oats.
Dang, that was actually my number
that's
2
a good
list.
one. That's solid. I do like that. Dang. I don't know what I want to put. I'm stuck between 2 that I really want to go with, but I know it's gonna be gone next time we come by. I'm gonna go with Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Classic.
Good call.
The milk is always good afterwards.
It's a good call.
All right, mine is Raisin Bran. Love that shit. Best hotel cereal. It's at every hotel.
It is. It is at every
always
hotel.
Get it at hotels.
Steve, I thought you were just going back to our days working in the nursing home.
That ate it all the time there too. It's good.
That's like literally the most sugar out of all the cereals. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Fine.
Dude, Gladys rubbed off on you.
It's so good. Oh man.
You got to pick again.
Oh shit. Wow, I wasn't ready for this. Just a lot of pressure. Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
Frosted Flakes for sure.
I'm surprised that no one took this one. Lucky Charms.
Dang.
I'm going with all of really like well-known ones, but it's because I like them.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
Pick number 3 for me is going to be Chips Ahoy. Wait, is that the cereal?
Oh.
No.
Are you talking about Cookie Crisp or whatever?
Cookie
Crisp.
Crisp.
Good.
That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of.
That's a good one.
Cookie Crisp. Oh, the little fox guy is their mascot.
He's like, it's not.
He was
a fox,
my favorite
he's
mascot
like a dog.
growing up.
Okay.
He's like a dog or something.
Cookie Crisp. That's
A
what I said.
wolf. That's what it is. A wolf.
Yeah.
Silly
Okay.
rabbit.
So, oh man, I got to double up now. This is tough. I got my first one off top because it's the last of my list that wasn't taken. So you got to go Golden Grams.
Yeah, I've ever had Golden Grams, honestly.
I don't know where you're living, Steve, but
Never had Spooners either. You're weird.
well, now you're gonna
cereals.
go to Menards next time.
I
You're like,
guess.
damn, I need to pick up some blueberries, mini spooners.
Yeah.
You're gonna thank me for
Let me
That's
pick up
good.
a pack of nails and some
I'll
mini
get
spooners.
some dishwasher cleaners.
You don't do that, Pat?
No,
Golden
no one
Grams.
does that.
No.
Oh man. Okay, so for the last one, ooh, don't want to be that guy or don't want to be the other guy.
You want to be that guy.
I don't want to be that guy. Okay.
Do it, Colin. Live your life.
All right.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No.
I gotta
regrets.
take Special K then.
Oh,
Dude,
good.
you know how many
Which-
No
varieties?
one's voting for Colin's list. Just FYI.
Well, you gotta.
No
you
one
gotta
is
pick
voting.
You gotta pick
Yeah.
a fruit. You gotta pick a fruit. You can't.
Dude.
You just pick like 10 different cereals.
Special K has like, you know, cinnamon, they have honey vanilla, they have vanilla almond, they got strawberry and berries, they got everything, man. And they're healthy. So, you know, I can stay looking beautiful.
You need to eat more Special K, apparently.
So for
You
my
know-
last pick here, I'm gonna have to go with the ultimate classic of all berries Captain Crunch.
I was wondering when someone
Oops,
said Captain
oops,
Crunch.
all berries.
Oops berries Captain Crunch.
Oops, all berries.
Gosh, I love sandpaper in my
It's
mouth.
such an excess of crunch berries. They actually,
Yeah.
you're just,
That cereal destroys the roof of my mouth. I hate it.
it's like cocaine and fiberglass.
Let's
Ever
see.
seen
man.
that comedy sketch that's like that fat guy talking about he's like the fat Canadian guy talking about the oops all berries and how that like doesn't exist in Canada. So yeah, so he's saying that like they don't have like any crunch berries cereal in Canada. It's just like regular like whatever Captain Crunch is like their only option. And he's like, but these motherfuckers down in the US have so many crunch berries that they accidentally just made an entire box of crunch berries. And he, you know, so he's talking about how it's like oppressing them. or whatever, crunch berries.
Damn it, Trudeau.
You gotta. I'll send you guys the link. It's pretty. I'll text the link. It's a good one.
So back to Clay.
I'm gonna go with Waffle Crisp. That was
Ooh.
OG for me growing up. Waffle Crisp.
Is that another Menards special?
No, it's Post brand or Kellogg's.
That was gonna be my number 4, but I forgot the name of it.
Yeah,
I always had it at my uncle's place.
it's like
in,
little
North
miniature
Dakota.
waffles essentially, but
they're so
they're
good.
maple. They're maple flavored, so they have like a little nice.
And
tomato.
they discontinued it for a while there, and then like brought it back, but you can't really find it anymore.
Yeah,
So
it's like
Eggo-
it's like French Toast Crunch as well.
They,
like
I
that
think
flavor.
they rebranded it as the Eggo one for a while
Eggo
tried to
there, but
steal
no,
from
then
them.
I think they brought it back to the original
Waffle
Crisp. Yeah, that stuff's really good. Really good.
All right, Steve. Since you mentioned Mr. Irrelevant earlier.
Yeah. So my actual number 1 that none of you guys picked, I called it Blueberry Morning. You guys ever heard of that?
Yeah, I do
I've
remember.
Oh,
Never
it's
heard
so
of this.
good. It's kind of like it's not really even like Raisin Bran. It's got like almonds. There's Amber. Hi, Amber. But yeah, it's got like almonds and like cornflakes and like little blueberry pieces in it and stuff. Really, really good. You should get it sometime.
I remember you buying it.
Yeah, that's one of my go-tos.
Okay. So, and you guys gave me crap for blueberry mini spooners.
Yeah, it's shredded wheat. It's like something that you
have
like
the most old man
precision.
selections of all time.
Yeah,
Commish.
That's for sure. Absolutely.
I'm surprised you didn't even say Wheaties.
Dude, nobody actually
basically did with his mini spooners.
Yeah.
That's
Oh man.
You probably let the shredded wheats or those mini spooners, you probably let them set in your milk for a little bit so they get nice and soft for you so you can chew them.
Grandpa Shark.
Yeah, because you don't have your dentures in by the time you eat them.
I mean, to be fair, I probably am the oldest soul in the league. Like,
you were born like 20 years too late.
Do you drink your microwave prune juice with marshmallows in it, Colin? You do every morning.
That sounds interesting.
No, do you not remember that gal at Northridge at the retirement home?
She was quite odd.
Oh God, we had to make that shit every morning.
She's got to stay regular, man.
She really had to.
It's a tough life.
She got artificial sweetener and prune juice. Get her going. Oh my God.
You add the coffee into that mix, and that's like, explosion.
That's terrible. Yeah, that was really bad.
Well, shoot, we'll throw this draft result up in the league chat, and we'll have people vote on it this time, actually, because we're all competitive, so we got to figure out who won the draft.
And Steve can share his little video.
Oh yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah. We're all curious. So, well, Steve, I appreciate you coming on, buddy. You got any last words or trash talk you'd like to disperse?
Ooh, trash talk. No, because I can't. Because I'm bad at fantasy.
Before you go,
this whole thing. What?
I can unveil the remaining divisions if you so choose.
Oh, well, I mean, you did one, right?
Yeah,
I did one.
You got to spoon feed us. You got to do just one more. You can't do both.
That seems to be pretty counterproductive.
Nope. I like it.
Nope. You still got to do it.
One?
You got to commit to the format, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's only fitting that we.
I know it doesn't make sense, but
is it all four of us?
We unveiled Division 3, which is the four of us.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome. Nice.
I mean, that works.
Does that mean Beckett and Creighton are in the same division?
Well, we don't know because Collin hasn't announced.
We don't
know. We got to wait for the next episode.
Yeah. Good point.
Wait till next week to find out for sure.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
I want to assume they are, but we'll wait till next week.
No, you can't because you have to announce it. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, it's like
who's suspense.
Who's that? Who's in that division?
Exactly.
Instead of who's that Pokemon.
Obviously, divisions this year were done inversely of standings from last year. I've never done it this way, but it seemed like a fun time, and I don't know, trying to look for a way to get Steve to the playoffs, maybe.
Yeah,
so just put him with the worst three from.
I feel like I'm always in Steve's division.
You're so generous. But Mitch lost last year, didn't he?
No, Mitch won. Yeah, we don't know what division Mitch is in next year, but.
Oh, or Mitch lost the year before. Who lost last year then?
Did Mitch go worst to first last year?
Pat, I think, lost last year.
Yeah, I have no idea who lost last year. I think we'll never know that answer.
Oh, shoot. I thought I was back a year. Because I know there was a point in time where I had to give Mitch the trophy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pat, you're
Pat.
Closer. Oh, easy.
Yeah. Yes, much easier.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that.
Pat was oddly silent through all that discussion of this trophy.
No, he never cracked it. See, nobody claims it. Nobody wants it. He was in the video chat. And he didn't claim it. He didn't even remind me. He didn't bat an eye. He just sat down there in his corner. He's all quiet and shit.
We'll make arrangements before the beginning of the season where I'll have this trophy.
All right.
We'll make it happen for the podcast.
Make it happen. All right. I'll sign it 6 times or whatever I need to sign it.
All right. Well, cheers to the division mates.
Cheers.
Figured it'd be a good time since we're all on.
Cheers.
Omp.
Some